Hello, welcome to Bennett's Bike Social. Now, we here at BikeSocial are never ones to shirk a challenge, whether it's going to the most extreme McDonald's in the country, whether it's wheeling a Niken, or riding the NC 500 in one go. But when it was put to us that the longest continuous train journey in the UK goes from Aberdeen to Penzance in 13 hours and 15 minutes, with lots of stops, 40 stops, but no changes, we thought, well, we could beat that on a bike, but can we? So to find out, we're here in Scotland at Aberdeen railway station in the company of BikeSocial's Mr. Michael Mann.
Hello.
Perhaps not quite a seasoned train traveller,
No.
but you certainly use a train more than I have, because I've never been on for donkey's years.
And I seem to have drawn the short straw. Well, I don't know whether it's a short straw
I'm not
necessarily.
sure it's a short straw.
When I'm quaffing my 16th cappuccino somewhere
very
in
nice.
Birmingham.
Well, on the other hand, we have me, Simon H, and I will be riding Suzuki's new for 2022 GSXS 1000 GT Plus. 150 horsepower of possibly Suzuki's finest engine ever built, the K5, in a sports touring chassis with all the mod cons. It's got cruise control, it's got a big tank. I reckon we're going to get about 150, 160 miles out of it. I'm planning on doing 4 fuel stops.
Yep. 688 miles, isn't it?
Is it 688?
Precisely.
Oh,
So, but that's the direct route, aren't you? Because sorry, I can't call it a race, a challenge.
It's a challenge.
You've got to get from A to B, down to Penzance as quick as you can.
Absolutely, so it's going to be motorway all the way, while you've got the luxury of going down the East Coast with all the fantastic views. But we have to win. So I reckon the bike, Google says the bike can do it in about 11 and a half hours,
Yep,
I think.
yep.
Which obviously completely destroys your 13 hours, 15
13 and a quarter,
minutes.
yeah.
But we have 4 fuel stops, and I reckon they're going to take about 20 minutes each, because I'm going to need a drink, I'm going to need other things, a bit of food perhaps as well.
You need to stretch your legs after how many miles?
Yeah, and that puts us on 12 hours 40-ish, 45, so it's starting to get uncomfortably close. If anything goes wrong,
Yes.
I could get beaten.
Yes.
I don't want to be beaten, I want to win.
Well, I mean, we're very pro motorbike, of course, at BikeSocial,
course
so
we are.
I want to lose.
All right, okay, so that's the bare facts. Should we get on with this and have a challenge?
Come on then.
Let's
I can't
do it.
wait to sit down. Rolling, rolling, rolling.
You ready for a long day ahead?
Oh, yeah.
Sitting on your bum on a
that's-
train. This is going to absolutely crush it.
Yeah, well, you're on the right weapon for it.
Definitely. But
There's only so much coffee I can drink.
are you going to have a snooze?
I'll have a little,
Are you going to sleep?
I'll have a little stretch and walk around.
Unbelievable.
£200, you know, a ticket from here to there is, on the train.
200 quid?
Well, yeah, that's standard class. You know.
That's not funny, because I could have sworn I booked you first class. You're travelling first class. It's 420 quid.
Yes, it's double £200. Yeah.
Blimey.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you know which platform you're on?
No,
Platform 7, wasn't it?
well, thank you very much. Platform 9 and 3/4.
Yeah.
I've never seen Harry Potter.
1,000 times. Right.
Tell me the good bits about this. So you've got some nice wind protection, got lots of power.
Plenty of power,
Frugal.
smoothness. It's relatively frugal. It's not if you gun it, but we're not going to be doing that because of the average speed cameras.
Yeah.
So it'll easily do. I mean, I think I undercalculated how often we need to stop. So I've kind of got me stopping every about 130 miles, but I think we could have stretched that to 150. But it doesn't matter. Either way, it still would have been 4 stops.
Still 4 stops,
so it doesn't really
regardless.
matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, seat's comfy, the riding position's comfy, the bars are nice and wide.
Cruise control.
Cruise control. Quick shifter's amazing. It's a really cool quick shifter. But let's face it, it'll be top gear most of the way, won't it?
What power is it?
So, yeah.
Like 150?
Oh, sorry, horsepower.
Power.
Yes, 150. Yep. Which is plenty. So yeah, you just sit there barely on tick over, trundling on cruise control, conforming to all speed limits.
It'll be very similar to my journey then, won't it?
Yeah, it will be a little bit more fun.
It's like if you've got, it's like a camera bike more than anything. You've probably increased its weight by, well, you've doubled it, haven't you?
Oh God, I've got to
All
sit
your
in there
gubbins.
somehow. I'm never going to fit in that space.
It's like a full.
Well, you know, we've got to capture the moment of victory.
Yeah, true.
When you can see defeat, when you walk out of the station in Penzance. I mean, how far away is that?
Will we ever cross? We won't, will we? I don't think the road doesn't get that close to the train line, or you'll be so far ahead of me, or...
I don't know, we must pass at some point. I'll have a look at that.
I'll raise a glass of champagne,
Yeah,
maybe,
I'll
as
be
I'm
waving.
passing.
Hey, it's 8:30. You have to look on your map as you're going along.
Yeah, true.
There he
yeah.
is. Yeah.
And then
Right.
we're going to have a chat, aren't we?
Yes, we are. I'm going to contact you every time I stop for fuel. And
Good.
Find out where you are and how we're going, see if we're on schedule.
I shall take some video of it.
Good stuff. Should we get going?
Go on then. I've got a train to catch. Come on. Good luck.
Best man win.
See you on the other side. Come on. Where's that train? This way. Mind the traffic.
Don't get run over.
That won't be a very good start, will it? I tell you what, if I miss this train, the entire challenge is buggered, isn't it? Go, go, go!
Right, there we are. Let's get some fuel in the old girl. Right, let's give Michael a call, find out where he is.
Ah, Suzuki Simon.
Michael, man on the train. Where are you?
You're fitting
Where in
well?
the world are you?
Well-
Yeah, I'm good. I'm perky. I've got me Costa coffee.
Oh, have you?
So how many coffees have you had? I've been guessing. I reckon you're on your third.
No, I've had one. I've had just the one. I'm in solidarity with you. I didn't have any biscuits.
No, but what? You must have had a croissant. I've been speculating. I thought you'd be on your fifth coffee and your second croissant.
No, I've not cracked open the champagne just yet. I'll have you know, I've been working very hard.
Oh, have you?
No, of course not.
I've been thinking, what's he doing? Reading a book, looking out the window, meeting some new friends, maybe?
Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah, there's three of us in the carriage who are also, well, four, including me, who are all going the way to Penzance.
Well, that's what the train's for, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah,
I guess.
Good fun. Maybe one of those bucket lists, perhaps.
So, where are you?
Well, we've just left Haymarket, so we're in between Haymarket and Edinburgh. We're due in Edinburgh Station.
Of course, you're going round the
about-
east coast, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly
So
that. Yeah,
you're
Edinburgh.
still. So you haven't left Edinburgh yet.
No, pulling into Edinburgh as we speak. In fact,
Hello.
pulling into Edinburgh now.
Hello. He's gone again.
I haven't
He's
gone
gone.
anywhere. I'm pulling into Edinburgh
Michael, come back.
now. You're back. I'm back.
The wonders of technology.
Isn't it
What's going on?
marvellous? Well,
What's that?
Edinburgh must have internet now, so we can speak.
Fantastic. Good technology.
I can see the sign next to that. We're stationary at Edinburgh Station, and we'll be for 11:06. We do it out of here, so that's 10:53 now. It's at 13 minutes. I believe they changed the crew here, so we're stationary for 13 minutes, and that could be crucial.
Oh, right. Okay. And so, how many stops have you had so far? Do you think?
This is the 12th. This is the 12th stop.
12th stop.
Yes, I've
out
got a
of
little
40.
chart in front of me.
Okay. So, what's your ratio then? Because I'm on my first stop out of 4, so I've got 3 stops left.
Well, you're all right, son. No, I'm on time. That's the best thing. That's the big news. We're on time.
Good. So am I.
And the scenery has
So
been
that-
gorgeous. How is it for you?
There's been a lot of dual carriageways in a straight line at 70 miles an hour.
Oh, thank goodness for
Shall we
cruise
say?
control.
Yeah, all on cruise control. It's not the most stimulating journey. To be honest, this is a test of endurance more than performance.
So you're going, because you're going west, aren't you? You must be going M74, M6, M5. Is that right?
That's the one. Yeah. And have you seen the weather forecast?
No, please enlighten me.
Woo-hoo-hoo. There's about 100 miles of rain, which is going to start probably at the top of the M6, and it's going to end somewhere just south of Birmingham. So that's probably 150 miles of rain.
Have you got waterproofs? And you've got weather protection to a degree.
I've got some waterproofs, but you know what? I don't think I'm going to bother. I'm just going to cover up my kit, make sure none of my electricals get damp. But apart from that, I'm going to brave it. You never know. It might have gone by the time we get there.
Yes, exactly. You can beat the rain. Well, and
right.
I'm beginning to think that I haven't drawn the straw at straw.
Yes, you. Maybe you haven't. I don't know. But your tactic of keeping me talking on the phone to delay me is not working.
Oh.
I'm going to finish my coffee, get off the phone, and get cracking.
All right, ride safe. See you at the next one.
I'll check in about another 2 hours, 20 minutes or so, I think.
Perfect. I'll look forward to it.
Speak to you then. See you. Bye.
Bye. He's on target, but I'm glad we are on time.
Living it up. Easy life, isn't it, for some people?
Just north of Newcastle, and I think the train is on time still. I can see from Google Maps that Simon is just about to head into Gretna Green, though I can also tell from the weather app on the iPhone that it's pissing it down, so can't say that I'm that jealous at the moment. Right, let's give Michael a ring, find out where he is. If we can get any signal. Hello, Suzuki Simon.
Hello, man on a train.
Yes, I should retitle myself, shouldn't I, on the Instagrams and the Twitters. Man on a train. Hey, you know that Francois, what's his face? He makes a good living out of it, doesn't he?
Francois who?
Oh, there's that fellow on Instagram, isn't he? He's got millions of followers.
He makes a living out of getting on trains?
Yes, I believe so.
Good grief. Well, there you go. New career for you, mate.
Well, I don't know about that.
So
I'm interested in motorbikes.
where in the world are you?
I am. I think about 5 minutes ago we left Darlington, and next stop will be York. So that's about 15 to 20 minutes away. We are on time. You'll be delighted to hear. So, although on my list of where I thought we were going to stop 40 times, it must be 41 because I miscalculated and we ended up stopping at Newcastle.
Oh, right, okay.
And how are you getting? Well, I know how you're getting on because I've got the power of Google Maps at my mercy, so I can see exactly where you are.
So we've just come over. We're at T-Bay. We've just come over Shap Summit, which I think is the highest motorway in the UK.
Righto.
Which must make T-Bay the highest service station in the UK, I guess. So,
well, there's an interesting fact.
I'm feeling a bit lightheaded. It's the high altitude.
Are you sure it's not the rain?
Or is it the lack of food? The rain was okay, to be fair. I mean, it was that horrible wet rain, you know, not like that stuff where you get a sudden shower and it's gone, or that stuff where it just drizzled and drizzled. It's like, oh, it's horrible, but it's gone now. I think we've cleared it. I think that's the end of it now. So
yeah, I did just take a quick look now at places like Manchester, Stoke-on-Trent, and even as far down as sort of Birmingham, and then into Bristol. And from the weather apps, I think you're home, literally home and dry. So you'll be fine.
Yeah, I think we're good there. And we're exactly on schedule as well, because have you got the list there of the times that I thought we would be at the service stations? So I think it was about 1:10 and it is 1:10. So.
Yeah, I think you're bang on schedule as well. Yeah, you might be about five or 6 minutes behind, but you're okay.
Oh, okay. Well, we had a few minutes in hand, so we're still good. Right, I've just bought some dinner anyway. I bought some. What did I get? T-Bay Services lemon garlic chicken with Bombay potatoes. How about that? And just what the doctor ordered. I got my can of VR46 Monster Energy. Hey.
I think we need to have it sponsored, don't we?
We do. Yeah. Good. Right. Excellent.
Well, I've just had my third coffee and second bag of crisps and first hot bacon roll, which is very delightful.
A hot bacon roll. You see, now there was I thinking that in first class you'd have what was my order? I thought you were going to have pâté foie gras followed by duck à l'orange, and finished off with a nice raspberry sorbet.
Yeah, it's cross-country rail. It's not Emirates.
Bacon roll. Blimey.
You got it.
I think we've got better food here at T-Bay.
No doubt it was locally sourced.
It probably was, yeah. Right, I'm going to tuck into my dinner and get cracking. So I'll phone you again when the next stop.
Safe journey, and speak to you in about 2.5 hours, because we are now 5 hours into our trip.
I know, it's mad, isn't it? It's flown by for me. Is it flown by for you, or is it dragged?
Same here. Yeah, lovely.
Okay, all right. Well, you get some kip. Get your head down, and we'll speak in 2.5 hours.
Nice one. See you in a bit.
All right, mate. See you, bye.
Bye.
Loser.
Hola, Simon Hargreaves.
Stand on top of the train and hold your phone up.
It's awful. I'm at Birmingham New Street, and I'm standing outside the toilet. Not because I like standing outside toilets, but because I think this is about the only place in the train I can get service at the moment. We're about to depart Birmingham, and it's kind of underground. I've never been to the Birmingham New Street station before.
Right.
Anyway, how are you getting on?
Yeah, good. Starting to tire a bit, flagging a little, but we're at Paris Hilton Services. I don't know where that is. I think that's
Paris Hilton?
something like that. Yeah, I think it's called Paris Hilton Services. Maybe it's called Hilton Park or something. I don't know. Anyway, it's off the M6. We're just about, I think, to hit the M5 shortly. So
Yeah. So I'd imagine
we're not a million miles apart now, are we?
No,
really?
not really. You'll probably be north of Birmingham, and I'm in the middle of it.
Right. Okay.
But that'll be interesting. Actually, going on to the next stop.
I've done my maths, and I reckon that if we spend 20 minutes per stop on the last 2 stops, including this one, we're going to beat you by about, 20 minutes. So I think if you're on time, we are going to win. Unless something dramatic goes wrong, which it still could.
Yeah. It looks like we're on time at the moment. 24 stops, 25 stops? I can't remember now, but about 25 stops in. And we're bang on time. Yes, we're leaving Birmingham on time, on schedule. Yeah. Well, look, like we said at the beginning, I'm still pro motorbike. I'm still up for you winning.
Right, your signal is terrible, so I am going to get cracking. You're not going to keep... I know what your ploy is. You're trying to keep me talking, aren't you?
Yeah, but I don't think I'll be able to do that for another 20 minutes.
You don't think you would be able to do it for 20 minutes. Right, I'm going to be out of here, mate.
Have a safe journey, and I'll talk to you again in, 2.5 hours?
Yeah, 2.5 hours. I'll speak to you then.
Ciao.
Bye. Victory is within sight.
Come in, rider number 1.
We're at Taunton. Bridgewater was closed.
Taunton?
Yeah. But we are on a bit of a schedule to try and beat you because we've got 2.5 hours left.
Yes.
Yes, and what is it now? 6:40. So
it's 6:41. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's making it tighter than I want it to be. So, hello, goodbye.
Well, I can keep you on the phone for a little bit.
No, I don't think you can. I'll see you in 2.5 hours.
Simon, how are you?
See you in 2.5 hours. Shut up, go away.
Oh,
go away. Yeah, I am. Bye.
Bye. Could be close.
Right, let's get cracking. Where are we going? Penzance railway station. 2 hours, 18 minutes. ETA 8:59. Well, that was a thing. My GoPro fell off. Not this one, obviously, but the one on my wing mirror. So I thought, right, it's somewhere up the road. And do you know what? About a quarter of a mile back there, I found it. Well, that's the GoPro is no more, but the disc is safe. Right, that's put me behind schedule, funnily enough. Let's have a look, see where we are. Right, let's have a look. Hour and 15, 9:12. That's made it more interesting. I better get a shift on. At least it stopped raining. Is there a motorbike? That's, you're pressing the closed one. There we go. Ta-da! Oh, look who's there! 7 Hargreaves! You beauties! Look at you, champ! Yes, brother.
Hey, how
Well
you doing?
done, well done, well done.
Have you been here long?
Oh, about half an hour.
Are you really?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's 6 of us, including this gentleman who've done it. 6 of us.
I do.
And we're all invested. Yeah.
Well,
we're all
I
coming.
won.
I'm going to talk to the.
I know you gentlemen.
This is Mark.
Nice to see you.
How do you, Simon?
We've had all,
Nice to meet you.
all
And this is Pat.
the-
Honestly, we've all been really invested in this.
You're all best friends,
Really?
train friends.
Well, we were sitting next to each
Aberdeen
other for like the last
train
13 hours. This is Pat, Simon.
You guys.
Right.
Whoa!
Hey!
I'm glad it didn't get wet.
Excellent. Well, mate. Well, mate. What a day. What a day. It must have been so hard for you sitting on that train for the entire day. Did you get DVT? Bless you.
I had to remember, the hardest bit about my day was, oh, is the Wi-Fi working? Oh, is it not working? Oh, I must remember to stand up now and again. Honestly,
Did you have
it was
some
a
Teams
breeze.
meetings and...
No, not even that, because
Did you do any
honestly,
work?
well, minimal, because the Wi-Fi didn't work.
Oh,
but
right.
that's the most.
Well, I was going to say the phone signal didn't work half the time.
No. I mean, that was the biggest drama of my day. Was you know, how comfortable it was and the amount of tea and biscuits I could eat. But anyway, look, for you, I cannot believe that 13 hours straight.
Well, I've ridden for longer than 13 hours. Like when I did the Guzzi McDonald's trip.
Oh, yeah.
That was a 19-hour ride. I've done rides back from Spain in longer than 13 hours. And I've done greater distance. I've done, what, 619 miles?
Yeah,
I've
near
done-
enough 700 miles.
I've done nearly 1,000 miles on the McDonald's trip in 19 hours. But there's something about this that's frazzled me even more. And it's not the bike. It's definitely not the bike. I think it's just the repetitive nature of the dual carriageways and the motorways just kind of ploughing on. And there's been a sense of urgency, but I haven't been able to ride completely freely because I've been keeping strictly to the speed limit.
Good, yeah.
And you know, and I'm not saying in the sense that you're going crazy as normal. It's just kind of that keeping the speed absolutely spot on.
Sure.
But so yeah, so it's
It's
actually
more of a mental challenge.
It's been more of a mental challenge, an endurance challenge than a kind of a performance challenge.
Yeah.
But anyway, it got and everything was really dull right up until the last hour when my GoPro jumped off. So I had a really healthy lead. I was like 45 minutes in front of you or something. I was like, oh, this is easy. This is not even going to be a competition, and or a challenge even. And then the GoPro jumped off on a dual car on the A30 in the rain. It's pretty dark. It was overcast. It went bouncing down, and I couldn't tell where it had gone. I couldn't tell if it had gone in the central reservation or in the side of the road. And it was one of those situations where, you know, you get kind of bloody minded and you think, I am going to find this. I know it's going to be knackered, but I can rescue the card, and the card's got some footage on it.
Yeah.
And you just kind of like, I just feel that I'm going to find this. And so parked the bike up, left it at the side of the road in a sort of a gully with the hazards on, took the key out.
Yeah.
Ran quarter of a mile back up the road to roughly the right area, but I mean, I wasn't sure, and started skulking around in the undergrowth and occasionally crossing the dual carriageway when nothing was coming and looking in the central reservation. And the first thing I found was the back of the case. I thought, oh, right vicinity, but the GoPro's a bit heavier than that, so it's going to bounce a bit further.
Yeah, you're getting warm.
Kicked around a bit more, and there she is.
Oh, what a feeling.
What a beauty. Yeah.
It still works.
Still works. It's, I mean, it's completely smashed.
Where's the card? For the card's all
There
right.
you go. Beep, beep. It's still working.
Happy
There
days.
you go.
Cheers.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
So,
But
that was the most exciting thing, and that put me back about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And so that made it a bit more interesting, a bit more spicy. But
Well, it's interesting because
still got here half an hour in front of you.
obviously I could see you on the Google Maps, or how we were getting on, and I went down the east coast of the country, and then across into Sheffield, Birmingham, and then Bristol, whereas you came down the west side, Manchester, that kind of M6.
Yeah.
So it was hard to tell how we were both getting on. It looked fairly equal.
It did, didn't it? It was with the same kind of latitude.
Yeah, that'd be right.
Yeah, same kind of latitude. We sort of like about equal. I was thinking, oh, we're not that far ahead. Oh, it's a bit kind of dodgy. And then around about Exeter, we were getting sort of pretty close to each other.
Yeah, geographically very close. So much so I could almost film you out the window. But I think you were just slightly ahead. And then all of a sudden, you obviously stopped. I think you had an issue with fuel, didn't you, or fuel station or whatever else.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, on the map, it looked like we got a big lead on the train. And the train was brilliant. Like it was, we even arrived here early, and after 13 hours and 15 minutes, a remarkable service, crap Wi-Fi, rubbish selection of food, but complaints otherwise.
Was the constant stopping frustrating? Do you have like 40 stops or something?
Yeah, it was 41. I missed Newcastle on my little maths thing.
Right, okay.
41, and there was 8 different drivers, and it was fairly.
Were you tempted to go in the cab and go, oi,
come on, son,
get your foot down?
I don't know what you do in trains. Do you push a button?
I don't know.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
Are you in charge of this vessel?
Yeah.
Oh, marvellous.
I'll leave you to it.
All right, you off? Bye then. That was that.
Right, anyway.
Sounds like the
I've
wagon
had
to
enough
be on.
now. Shall we...
Congratulations on your victory.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Let's go and find some food and somewhere to sleep and have a proper discussion tomorrow morning.
You got it. Mr. Hargreaves, morning after the night before, we're sitting outside Penzance station, the scene of the finish line, really. And we kind of come down, not that I had a massive amount of adrenaline, but I'm certain that you did after near as damn it 700 miles.
I think you could tell last night when we sort of met at the station, I had a sort of a certain look in my eyes and I was feeling a bit manic, which is the result of sort of sustained adrenaline over 13 hours or whatever it was. It does do strange things to you. But I'd been riding a bike. I was kind of considerably more pepped up than you were. So I don't know whether you felt envious of me on the bike during the day.
Yeah, big time actually. Yeah. I was, totally invested in this, and it was a genuine challenge, and I was really excited to get to the finish.
Yeah.
And of course, I couldn't see you from the train. I had no idea if you were here or not, and I couldn't see you on the map.
Yeah.
I knew that Jason, the videographer, was here because I could see that he was, but I knew you were separate. So genuinely got off the train and looked down the platform, and I was, as we said before, I'm pro motorbike. I wanted you guys to win, but it was still a challenge. It was still good fun, and I really was desperate to hear what you guys had been up to. And
I think the point of what we were doing, I mean, it's a bit of fun, wasn't it, racing a train? But the whole point was to try and illustrate what this thing is capable of. This sort of ultimate sports tourer from Suzuki, and I think we've demonstrated through a little bit of fun just how effective it is over long distances.
Yeah, it was a big journey, wasn't it? You took in a lot of motorway miles. So I guess primarily it's what's the engine character like and how comfortable is it? Are your two main questions?
Well, I think that they're the biggest sort of assets of the bike. I think the engine is that XK5 motor is just immense. 1000cc, 150 horsepower. It just doesn't stop. It's indefatigable. It just keeps rolling. It is like a road train. It is like a locomotive in that sense. Engine character, it's 150 horsepower. There's a big engine. It's not a V-twin. It's not a parallel twin. It's not a flat twin. So you're not going to get those twinny vibes. You don't get any vibes. It is so smooth. The main character is it's utter outrageous performance and it's all-round ability coupled with the quick shifter. It's just pump through the gears, pump through the gears, pump through the gears all the time, dancing on the gearbox. It's a brilliant engine. In terms of comfort, I think I said to you last night off camera, I haven't got a single ache. I mean, this morning I've got to ride back to Milton Keynes to Suzuki on it, and I can't wait to get going. My legs don't ache, my shoulders don't ache, my neck doesn't ache, nothing aches. I've certainly been more uncomfortable riding adventure bikes over a similar kind of distance. So ergonomically, it fits. It's great.
What sort of, do you know the fuel consumption? How many miles were you getting out of the tank?
Well, we were quite conservative, so we'd sort of budgeted for about 130 mile stops.
Yeah.
The range was showing about 180,
Okay.
up to 180, which I think it will do, but that will get you really close to the end of the tank. So I'm thinking you'd be filling up about 150, 160 at the kind of speed we were doing. Huge variance between when I've ridden these bikes previously, like on the launch, where you go a bit more enthusiastically, it will drink the fuel if you absolutely use 150 horsepower. But if you're just cruising on a motorway, man, it's really good.
Yeah. And you had plenty to carry as well, of course, so you're laden somewhat.
Plenty of luggage. Yeah.
Cool. What about what overall comfort? You wouldn't change the seat. You wouldn't, change the windscreen, things like that. The wind
No, the
buffeting.
windscreen's interesting. It's quite low, but that's good. You see, windscreens are a compromise. If you have them so high, first of all, they're different for everybody, so it's really subjective.
Yeah.
If you have a windscreen that's really high, you tend to get the low pressure turbulence coming higher up the bike, and if you get the low pressure turbulence at head height, when you've got the screen up here, that's when you get the buffeting. It might not be as noisy, but it's more aggravating.
Sure.
That's got quite a low screen. Any buffeting is sort of chest level.
Yeah. What are you,
which is,
6
when,
foot,
when,
aren't
you're,
you?
when you're padded, that's okay. Which means your head is it's a little bit noisier, but it's dead still. No kind of, you don't get that sense of blurriness when you get off.
And for reference, you're also about 6 foot tall, aren't you?
Yes. Yeah.
And what about suspension, tyres, that kind of stuff? Is that, could you
it's the
feel
only-
it? I mean, I know it was just motorway, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's the only bit of it that isn't like a train because it does go around corners. Well, it goes around corners like it's on rails. But no, again, it's that classic Suzuki. Sits flat. The suspension is really flat. The thing steers beautifully. It doesn't steer around the rear tyre. You don't have to put any inside pressure on the bars. It's just really nicely poised. I mean, if anything, classic Suzuki, I'd maybe just tip it on the front a little bit more by raising the rear ride height, perhaps. But no, it's really, really great steering. Easy. You look forward to roundabouts. I was looking forward to roundabouts yesterday. I was like, yes, a corner. Also, in the wet. On the launch, it was wet, and it was amazing. In the wet on the way down as well, on some of those big long curves on the A30. Just planted, absolutely solid.
So, do you know the price of it?
Yeah, it's 13,599 is the RRP.
Right.
Add on the road charges to that, but that's with the panniers. And it comes with quite a high level of kit. You've got the quick shifted. The only thing you haven't got is heated grips. That's one omission. That would be handy if it had them.
Really decent value, isn't it, for what it is and what it does and what it's capable of?
Yeah. I mean, in a sense, like I said, it's kind of, again, not damning with faint praise. It has got an old school vibe in the sense that it's quite, basic's the wrong word. Don't want to make it sound like it's technologically backward, but it's quite simple to understand and it's quite simple to operate, and there's no kind of fuss. You get it out of the garage and it goes. You don't have to turn your brain onto anything other than riding the bike.
Yeah.
You don't have to turn it on to programming it, playing with semi-active, doing any of that stuff, which are great. Gadgets are all good.
Yeah.
This thing is just, it's for your old school, get on and go.
Yeah. I think it's probably attractive to a lot of people who might be interested in packing in the miles. Good. Well done, you.
Thank you.
And
well done,
on
you.
your victory. Oh, well, I had it easy, didn't I?
Yeah.
I had it easy. I'd tell you what, though, they do a train from Aberdeen to Penzance that would have got me here faster, an hour quicker, but it would have made a couple of changes, and that's kind of irrelevant to the story.
That's not the longest continuous train journey. We have beaten the longest continuous train journey in the UK on Suzuki's GSXS 1000 GT Plus. That's what we set out to do, and that's what it's done.
Brilliant stuff. Well, if you've got any ideas on what else you would have done it on, or if you've got any thoughts or queries or questions or comments or, I don't know, general interesting things to say, put them in the comments below. Like and subscribe as always, and please, if you're not a BikeSocial member already, get involved. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time, eh?
Calling Michael Mann, calling Michael Mann. This is Simon Hargreaves on a motorbike from stop number 3. I can't hear a word you're saying. You sound like a robot. Where are you? You're nowhere. What's wrong with your reception? He's gone. He's gone. Let's try him again.
You're kidding me?
Yeah.
Half an hour?
Do that again, sorry.
No.
Wipe you up.
No.
Sorry.